At this point, we've got to cross over to the Odona market where our colleague Benjamin Akako is on standby to give us the latest report on the market fire. Hello, Benjamin. What can you see? What can you tell us? Okay, Benjamin cannot seem to hear me. We're going to work on that connection and get him to give us the latest report. Ben, if you can hear me, tell us what you can report.
Where last night, well, what should have been a good morning is not a good morning. You can actually see the billowing smoke, the wreckage there, the smoldering pieces of wood, electricals, and all of that. It is a sad, sad scene. And this is exactly what transpired right after midnight, this morning. Very sad scenes here. There are people who have actually lamented that they lost everything. Some of them even. There's a woman who has been sharing her story saying that, in fact, she's lost money. She had a lot of money that was here, which has all gone up in flames. And there are a number of people here we're going to be speaking to, but it appears a lot of them have complaints about the structuring of the market and what ought to be done to prevent similar fires. You would realize that this isn't the first fire to have gutted the Circle area. I mean, one of the most recent being the GRA head office. But let's quickly interact with some of those here who have actually lost their possessions. And Mommy, what's your morning?
Morning.
Your friend saying?
Mary Pra, man.
Mary Pra.
Pinaman.
Mary Pinaman. Pacho, who was store ha?
Me pacho and the guso asin. Bedsheet, curtains, towels, sponge, na pillow cases.
Inti, baby, I ate was store no.
Man fa white cra, man fa white. Iko kumasa na duya na bedru. Man fa white. Ti menyama nyina na guso asin. Thousand cra man fa. Man fa common one. Me want my bed 6 base. I'm a cha, my sister Nina. Man fa capre cra, my yaba kukra nina. Curtains, 3 base. Bedsheet 4 base. Azana sponge a meton. Towels 1 bill. Me cook mas me di 2 weeks. Man fa ba kukra.
It's way then I say na just a hash.
About 5 years no be friend me. Say secretary Odona Edanashi. Ti say an my bedroom. If you come as an bedroom amati. 5 o'clock and then 5 o'clock. I know be friend me say you Edanashi ti me free kumasi aba. Me come ho emra. Me buy na eguso a ehim. Amfa ema ba ko.
Enti no we dia ye ma okosakose ye ma odie na emom no nema a wahwere wo ha no wokaboma ne price no ana sika be say na we invest as say wahwere wo ha no budget 1 baby a 12 million. That is 1,200 Ghana cedis.
Curtains so 1 bill 650. Enti curtains here 3 base. Bedsheet here 3 base, and I'm what towels, and also a 15,005. Man fa ba kokra. Me just make a cabo ma me hu scan.
So those are the sad scenes from here, Mary Pinaman. That is actually her shop that has gone up in smoke, in flames, actually. That is her shop that you're seeing here. She sells towels. She sells, a whole lot of other used products. And here indeed, she says she's lost everything, pillowcases, bed sheets, and all of that. Off the top of my head, from what she's just mentioned, it would have been at least 20,000 Ghana cedis that has gone up in flames just for Mary's shop. But let's speak to another gentleman here. Boss, Pacho Efro saying?
Franco Usu.
Franco Usu. Now, Odena, what ton ha?
Me ton ladies, Mpabwa, Mampabwa, and I'm ton wa.
Okay, now what shop and I want him?
Me shop on the Unfin Honomu. Ufifi Hona, Jana Crash Tati, Eshi.
Enti chese ehwa no untimi nko hompo.
Le mintimi nko mamfahwe makofa ne makora foforo kora sa ba. Nuade enura mi firi abe 9:30 mu hono. Ba minim se bibisa besi. Enti ntamwa minya enti ya me ba na se bibia e condemn. Enti serious pa because the market mu illegal too much.
illegal connections, no?
Serious. Because omuka say market here ya wa hey. Ledition ya bakope. Before so baby bia no. Before so baby bia no. Before so baby bia just so hu electrician ni bakope. Sa no mo de ba se sia no obi ase or agent or supply light. And akofa we dey aba. And I want to baby almost say just a she and a jato no between toilet no ho side. Toilet and what side one a honey January day. A year we say, a Jana start here. Giano was a light to be or 10 minutes, and now a month to me and share Massiciano, Jato Habam Siciano. You near me in Ashi, men pub of 500 pairs in Ashi.
500 pairs, no, or bonnet of Sicasa and washing.
Sika Mashre, because one me to be 80, a be an 90, 60, 70, 30, 25, 20. Cheapest grand 15 cities. It's now we are Makofa Foods in Pabua, almost 30 million. And Ukraman Hurekura, meaning say Christmas, we've been a different land and buy an uncle to Babu, it be see Hodom. To me, chance and you see. Ninjinashi.
It is a say, you know, when ya, then our per se, just say, AMA, or more, Hanamu, MC for no more high and as for then our person, yeah.
As I see, I know somebody, I'm one and so on the way.
Oh, quite bad so.
So, my big young Sikabinanke, the Ashi Jumenu. Because, and as I see, and as I see, and send you city and market, no. The entire Emma Edipakran, you will say, marketing middle lane now, or more yam, and you say, Patapata Simuno. And also come home because in the J. Cray, and Cafa service to be crowded to me at the Bitme with them, no be doom direct, because oh my middle lane, oh my market. Eddie will be a patapata, a jack when you be an ultimate, I use a car crate to me with them. Oh, and also come home. It is one by a marketing, no so modi, later no by a marketing, no dear Maya. I'm saying, sit in dear, and so to me, them because it be a marketing. That time, not man for to go for Madiba, no bar, not Kiano, smoky a new room street. But you shall carry into room, just up a kitchen, and son out in your money room. And also come home be. And here from Champion for no, or Mutia, or Mumuay, Naziano, and easy.
And here, Muano, Sicafano, Winyam Webia, and Cassana sent Dana potting our pay. Oh,
Sicafano, dear, say, at least. In your best, you shall remember why you say no. Almost best 120 million. Another Ashia.
That is 12,000 Ghana cedis.
12,000. It's at least minimum the meet me chama or Mubuaya de Jamiasi.
Yeah, that's it. And that is the story right here. The picture, the very gory picture of a lot of people who have actually lost their property here. All of them gone up in flames. And the story indeed is what you heard. Now Mary has lost about 20,000 plus Ghana cedis worth of curtains, towels, bed sheets, pillowcases. And the gentleman I was just speaking to, he actually sells shoes. He says he has over 500 pairs of shoes that have gone up in flames. Only recently, he actually got a batch of about 3,000 Ghana cedis worth, and that has also gone up in flames. Now you can see the remains right there. What exactly is happening in your shot? So you see the smoldering, all of these metallic, wooden structures have all gone up in flames. And one thing they're calling for, they are saying that the right, systems ought to be put in place. First of all, when it comes to electrical work, it appears everyone here has become his or her own electrician, and that actually is what triggered this fire, because apparently from the reports there were some sparks, some flames in one of the stalls, and that led to the chaotic scenes we are seeing right here. They've also talked about the fact that the passages in between the stalls, the kiosks, ought to be made better. So there's, the possibility, for example, of the fire service, now that they are around, they could have been going through to bring the flames to sort of kill the flames. But as it stands now, a lot still going on here. A lot of the kiosks and stalls still in flames. And only time will tell when exactly this fire will fully be brought under control and what exactly can be salvaged from all of this wreckage that you are seeing here. Mama V.
And that's Benjamin Akako reporting on the dawn fire at the Odona market. And as you can see, it's not totally under control yet. Benjamin will be engaged in the fire service, so we'll join him when that conversation gets underway. Last year in 2019, Fred Smith, just trying to remind myself because we reported on another fire incident and just like this one, at least in the early stages, we didn't know the cause of it, even though there were people who had said, oh, somebody was either cooking, left something on fire. This one, people say they saw or they heard some sparks going off. But there was no proper conclusion to what may have happened, how we intend to prevent another incident. And here we are in 2020 in November, also reporting another fire incident, same venue, the Odona market.
There's actually a report into fire outbreaks in Ghana covering the 2000 to 2013. And there was a sharp increase in cases over the period. Main reason, electricity and gas. And gas, for instance, because it has a very high energy output, so once there's electricity and gas exposure, you have the fire outbreak. Now, we have this report. It was conducted by Science Direct, and they looked at cases that have been reported. In fact, they did a lot of work in Greater Accra, Central, Northern, and other places where we've had fire outbreaks. That report is there. It's just there. This academic work is there. We should act on this to prevent some of these things from happening.
All right, so that's the very latest, the pictures that you see on your screen, live pictures from the Odona market. The Odona market is just right by the Circle interchange. So behind the GCB Bank, you find the market, but it's not just a market. There are people live there actually also. I mean, it's a whole community.
Yeah.
And it's typical of the other kind of markets that you find largely in the Greater Accra region, where when incidents like this happen, fire service will find it difficult to get to the scene because the stores are so close together. And there are so many of the structures, and so you can't find space to move around. So that's what we're reporting this morning on the Odona market fire. We'll bring you the angle of the Ghana National Fire Service in terms of the cause of the fire and whether or not they can keep it totally under control. But we're still doing the review here. We'll go to myjoyonline.com in a bit, but let me do the last paper, which is the Daily Guide, at least from my side. Front page, man killed over pork.
Oh, my God.
You know, yesterday there was Nana Aljima, our colleague in Kumasi with Love FM, reported on the incident of somebody who was, well, that's the initial report, who was essentially had seen somebody carelessly driving and decided to tell the person, Jack, watch what you're doing. And the person slapped him, he returned the slap. And then the next moment, the driver pulls a gun and shoots him in the lower abdomen three times.
More like a movie in Kumasi yesterday, and those who were there were shocked at what had happened. And there's been an update on that, Movi.
Yes, because the gentleman unfortunately died in the evening yesterday.
Which of them? Is it the driver?
So this is the victim.
Okay.
Okay. What has happened to the suspect? Because apparently he also died.
Okay. Oh, so our colleague at Love FM is confirming, and Aljima is saying that the Ashanti Regional Police Command has confirmed the passing of both casualties in Tuesday morning's road rage at Ayidriase near Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. And they are saying that the suspect, Samson Zabanga, who was 31, has also been confirmed dead. He actually shot himself. You
know, I can't, like, it's hard to imagine. So imagine that somebody is supposedly driving carelessly, and then you are like the good person.
You're vigilante.
So the standby guy who says, and he managed to say these words to him because he was in traffic.
Yeah.
And so he told him that, listen, you're driving carelessly, watch the way you're driving. You know, you could cause an accident or whatever it is. And then the driver decides to slap him, and he decides to return the slap. And then the next moment, he pulls a gun, shoots him in the lower abdomen 3 times, and then turns the gun onto himself and shoots his head.
Yeah.
Like, This is Ghana.
There's a lot of frustration.
This is
in the
Kumasi.
system, you know, he's ready to die just because the traffic won't flow for him.
Oh, that's not something. Let me tell you about the pork story before we go. This is in the Daily Graphic newspaper. It says a tragic incident that happened at a pork joint at Kenyasi number 2 in the Ahafo region has claimed the life of a 28-year-old George Edu Jemfi last weekend. The incident has thrown the whole community into mourning while efforts are being made to arrest the suspect called Yauberima, who escaped after the Carlos Act. Information gathered by Daily Guide indicated that the two friends had been at loggerheads for some time now before they met at the pork joint at a place called Kwadaso near Kenyasi number 2. George first went to the spots and bought pork and kenke, which he was eating when Berima arrived, and went straight to cooking pots containing the meats and started stirring the soup in the pots.
Oh.
George allegedly asked Berima to stop the stirring of the soup since it was being sold to the public. Berima allegedly became offended and retorted with abusive words, leading to a hot exchanges between the two, but those around the spot separated them. Not satisfied that they were separated, Berima angrily went home and came back with a kitchen knife and threatened to kill George, who also had left the place after eating. Berima allegedly then traced George to his area and stabbed him several times below the right chest, leading to his death. It's like we're acting our own movies, like real life, and
wow.
is it still
I'm lost for words, you know. I'm lost for words. How can you just get to a pork joint and start stirring what is being sold to the general public? I mean, how? Well,
this is sad.
Well, Matthew, I have the Insight report, and they have a story which I'm so interested in. I'm sure many Ghanaians will be interested in this. Dr. Bosman Asare is a deputy commissioner at the Electoral Commission, and he's speaking here. He says all parties have been given copies of the voters' register, and that's something the parties have been complaining about for a very long time. The NDC even raised an issue with it because they're saying that some people have been taken out, about 30,000 people have been taken out of the register, and no one knows who these people are. And so, assuming that some of these are those who signed the nomination forms for the candidates, so once they are out of the register, it means that the candidates' filing becomes null and void.
I'm not sure we can stretch it to that point. I'm not sure we can stretch it. It will be so chaotic if this was what we're doing right now.
Chaotic. Yeah. So it's good news that at least they have the copies and they know who is in, who is not. What is left now is for members of the public to also know, because if I am not in, I should know. So on election day, I don't go to the polling station, or unless I find a way of getting the EC to, restore me. Then we understand what...
That was a call that the NCC was also make a list available. But I don't think that will be done, would it?
Well, it will be good if they do, because it will lower the tensions, and then everybody will know what they have to do.
Absolutely.
On election day, we know lots of people troop to the polling station to try and cast their ballots. I'm talking about those who are eligible to vote. Now, if some persons have been taken out and they are aware, they will be away from the polling station, and that will also reduce the number of people who will be going there. It helps with the process. It helps us to have a smoother process. So,
we still can press and see if the Electoral Commission can give us a definitive response on that. Just before we go make way for sports with that disappointing game between Ghana and Sudan, I thought Ore Kwampofu told me yesterday that it was a done deal. That's for Sudan deal. I should have pushed him so that we put some thousand.
Yeah, but so what happened to us? I think we ended up with a 1-0 victory.
No, defeat.
Oh,
it means that we haven't qualified yet.
Yes. So, but we are still on top of the group.
Basa.
And can qualify with the next.
Qualify.
Oh yeah, we can easily qualify. In fact, we are in a very comfortable lead.
Who are we meeting? Yes. Aren't we meeting South Africa or something?
Don't worry about that.
In a comfortable lead.
Don't worry.
Have you seen the South Africans?
You recall
the
when Ghana? Yeah, don't worry about them. When Ghana first qualified for the World Cup, we beat South Africa home and away.
welcome.
Is it same?
Welcome is like what year?
I mean,
Well, we've got plenty of stories on myjoyonline.com. Listen, we'll leave you to explore. The presidency responded to Mr. Martin Amidu's resignation letter yesterday. What myjoyonline.com has done is to break it down beautifully for you. So you'll find all the angles on myjoyonline.com. You'd find this one: neither the presidency nor any member of government interfered with your work. Ekufuado replying to Martin Amidu. But if you also go down, you would see that they are saying a lot more, which has been broken down for you. So we'll leave you to go to myjoyonline.com and explore all the responses from the presidency to Mr. Martin Amidu's resignation letter. Ore Kwampofo will now come and tell us why he was so certain yesterday that Sudan was just like some child's play. Only for us to wake up this morning and we haven't qualified.
but that's
Not yet.
That's reality check, you know. Things don't go the way you plan it. If you heard that song by Shaggy, Keep It Real, you know, you'd have nice plans. That would be like a fairy tale world where nothing bad happens. Sometimes you go through these things. There are lessons you learn on your way to the top.
Okay, so that's Fred Smith turning very philosophical this morning. But the thing is, weren't we a better side? So what happened? Ore Kwampofo will bring us the details. Thanks for staying with us for the review.
And more importantly, Partey didn't play.
Partey didn't play.
Yeah. Partey wasn't in that squad.
Ghana are useless.